What is going on? Happy Tuesday. Happy new DC day. It's that time of the week again to pause for the cause, enjoy the middle of the day, and let's take a look at all the fantastic books that are coming out this week, specifically the DC books. We'll talk about them, see what's going on, give away some, and just hang out for a little bit. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Don't forget to check the links in the description to any and all of my videos to find some fantastic resources in this amazing hobby, like Big Time Collectibles. Just had MegaCon this past weekend, so whatever might not have sold out at the show, you can now find on their website. So some pretty cool exclusives and more. If you need anything clean, pressed, submitted to grading, check out Justin's Comics. Let him know you found him via the channel. And as always, the channel membership is live. If you want to support the channel and get some cool stuff in return, you can hit that join button, become a channel member today, get those loyalty badges next to your name, as well as the custom emojis. And if you join in the Legion tier, you can get your name entered in the Legion Loot monthly giveaway, as well as early access to content and other random stuff. And don't forget, all the books that we'll be talking about today, as well as the ones that are given away, I will be picking up at Augusta Book Exchange, the community's comic shop. If you don't have a reliable local comic shop, if you need to set up a pool list somewhere so you never miss out on these fantastic books every week, check out ABX Comics and Games. They got you covered. They always got me covered. They can cover you as well. They cover things. They cover people. They cover books. And let's see who all is in the chat already. All right. What is going on, Lustrucious? Good to see you today. Hooray to you. Lisa Babs, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Ruby G, Cowabunga, hello, hello. House of L, what's going on, Donovan? Good to see you. We got Cliff in here. Let's go. What's going on, Bryant? I have comic issues. Small crowd to begin with. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Share the stream out. Make sure to go ahead and do that. Get it out there. And kicking it off right off the bat here, it looks like Steven with the C, a.k.a. Leafy Substances, is already dropping some super chats. Happy Tuesday, Steven. Hope you're doing good. And that's 1 of 5. Remember, the super chat goal is up. If we hit all 5 of them, we'll throw some bonus books in today's prize pool. But otherwise, the giveaway for today is none other than the brand new Superman Spider-Man one-shot. This is the second time that Marvel and DC has come together to bring us one of these little specials. We had the Batman Deadpool Batman one. Now for the Superman Spider-Man Superman one. Similar to the last one, I grabbed the J. Scott Campbell cover, as well as the brand new issue of Justice League Unlimited, featuring what's sure to be a classic, featuring Booster Gold and the Blue Beetle wearing each other's sweaters. Absolutely hilarious cover. Thought it was awesome. Couldn't pass it up. But as always, if we hit that super chat goal, throw in the bonus books in there, the stickers, the trading cards, all that good stuff. So be sure to hit that. All right. Let's see what else I got in here. What else we got in here? I'll remind some people along the way. We'll look at the giveaways again. But otherwise, it is time. It is time to get in where you fit in and look at the brand new books coming out this week. What's going on, Mike? The sweater cover makes me smile. Yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? That's too funny. It's crazy to think that this is the first time that I know of comic books doing that as kind of a little, gimmicky, funny little cover variant. Seems like it took far too long to get that as a cover, but better late than never. That's too funny. Couldn't think of a more perfect group of characters to do it with than Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Flipping hilarious. It's super funny. Yeah. Super cool. Garfung, what is going on? What's going on, Kev? Good to see you, homie. You got random reads in here. What is up? Greg, got Bearded Comic Bro. What's up, fam? Saw, dude. Saw. All right. Get this brought up to the stage here. It's a good week for comics, people. This is a massive, massive, massive week for me, for my pool list. A lot of stuff on here. A lot of major, major books. And we're in the, I don't know if you call it the DCKO cool-off phase either. I mean, we're right after the event. We're still having the first issue of titles post DC KO coming out. So it's a lot of the aftermath, but it definitely couldn't be considered a cool off era because not only are like massive stories kicking off, massive things are happening, massive changes. And I think it's kind of interesting because this is like the third Wednesday post KO, but this is like the first one that I think, if there ever was a specific direct epilogue to the DC KO event, it's in the Justice League Unlimited book this week. And we'll get into that more. But all the details on what's happening, why is happening, what effect did DC KO have on the ongoing DC continuity, it hasn't been more addressed or more directly referenced than this week with the books that come out. I wish they could have paired Carol with someone a little more relevant than Gwen, but whatever. Jay Scott, I ordered a handful. There you go. She's on a few different covers though. She definitely got a few covers, I think. There's one with like the classic Supergirl suit. We'll look at it. Oh, excuse me. I got the yawns. I was chilling before getting ready to go live, and I was about ready to pass out, and now I can't shake it off. But we'll get there. What's going on, Lord of Brooklyn? Greetings. All right, first up this week, we'll take a look at the absolute titles. The absolute titles. You get two of them this week from the DC Absolute Universe. Out of the two companies, the alternate universe that's actually succeeding, we have Absolute Wonder Woman number 18, Diana versus Zatanna. What happens when you send a witch to kill a witch? Time to find out as the daughters of the most powerful magic users in the universe come together at last. Forced into combat with devastating stakes, it's the Witch of the Wild Isles versus Zatanna Zatara, the Mistress of Magic. I'm looking forward to this. This is the one book I haven't cracked open the pages yet from my pull list this week. The last issue was fantastic with like the big reveal of the absolute version of the Suicide Squad versus Diana. It was pretty much boiled down to a Wonder Woman versus Giganta 1v1, but with the crazy ending that you think Zatanna was gone, but she kind of, excuse me again, yawn. She kind of returned in rare form. And I thought that it was a good possibility that it might not even be Diana or be Zatanna that returned at the end of it, that it could have been a different character, but pretty much having a Witch War story arc kick off with this issue. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm surprised you didn't get any variants with Zatanna on them. Just regular old Wonder Woman variants. Cosmic One, what is going on? Hello. R.I.P. to Miss Taxmocker. Yeah, the actress passed away yesterday. I seen that. Been loving Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah, dude, it's been a blast the whole time. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Not so much excited. I don't think it's kind of controversial. I mean, I think the regular old consensus is you either really enjoy this book or you just really don't care for it or dislike it. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest with you guys. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 10 is out. I think the art is creative. I say this every time. The art is creative, what have you. It just lacks in storytelling potential. Denise Camp has gotten a lot of praise, especially in that new Comics the Magazine that came out a few weeks ago, was listed as like the number one writer out of the top 10 writers list, which I think is bananas. I can't speak for his indie work, but he's writing the Marvel Ultimate stuff, which is coming to an end, and he's writing this, which in my opinion isn't great. But to each their own. So what do we even have going on in this one? The truth of the Green Martian. John takes on the agency while his family and his world crumbles around him. Bridget starts to see through the smoke to the malevolent force inside her own house. Where exactly is the Green Martian? The Green Martian's tied down, being dissected alive, vivisected. Despero is inhabiting John Jones. So who knows? Who knows where they're going with it? I don't know. Just ain't doing it for me. Ain't doing it for a lot of people. This one was only going to 12 issues, so it's not too much to keep up with beyond that. So I don't know if there'll be a long break, if they'll come back and do another 6 down the road, if they'll include Martian Manhunter in any of the other books. I don't know what the future hold for Martian Manhunter. We just had the DC panel at MegaCon this weekend where they reconfirmed or just restated the fact that the Absolute line will have its first event at the end of this year. They did confirm, like I speculated, that I don't think this Absolute event will be the Absolute Crisis that was just teased in KO, but they did confirm that it is not the Absolute Crisis, which is good. We need to have more time between the most recent KO event and a proper Crisis event. You have to build up to it. So it was cool to get confirmation that it's not that, because so far we've had Batman and Wonder Woman share some panels together, and outside of that, the characters really haven't interacted. They make little mentions along the way that they're aware of this person, aware of that person, but having like a very focused Absolute event just on these Absolute characters, I think, is a good idea to do before getting to anything worthy of the Crisis title name. So maybe we'll see Martian Manhunter again down the road, but after this week, only 2 more issues. Absolute Wonder Woman rocks. Absolutely agree. They did base it off of book sales. He had at least 3 titles. They claim to have based it off book sales, and we've addressed that. I pointed that out and talked about it on the bottom right-hand side of the page. They base it off of a curated amount of book sales. And what I mean by that is they took a small sample of point of sales data and base it off that. They didn't base it off of all reported sales data. They didn't report it off of DC, Marvel, or anyone like that. Unit sales. They took a handful of shops and based it off of their registers, just a select group of shops. So it's no secret. It's no secret at all, out of the limited amount of information that we get with comic sales, because it's not an exact thing that we get, that Scott Snyder is bodying anybody's collective work with Absolute Batman alone, with over 300,000 copies and climbing with each individual issue. Denny's Camp, if you took his Ultimate stuff, if you took his Absolute Martian Manhunter stuff and his indie stuff and combined it all, he's still not touching Absolute Batman by itself. So they took it off of their very select curated bit of data, which made it absolutely hilarious. And that was one thing that we covered on the channel, talked about it, pointed out. I even did an entire video on it, but it was selective data. It was literally cherry-picked data, but that's fine. And I talked about why I think they did that. And I'll tell you, I don't even think with the data they collected, they even represented it properly. They wanted to create a hot topic, a rage bait list to get some interaction and conversation out of it. It was literally paper print form of engagement farming, and they put the little box in there. Do you disagree with our results? Write in. We'd love to hear from you, include you in the next issue. They were engagement farming the readers, which is fine. They had 3 titles that, they don't add up. I keep having people add Absolute Martian Manhunter to the pool list and wonder if they know it's ending in 2 issues. I don't know. I think it's fine that it's ending because it's not being canceled due to sales. Absolute Martian Manhunter continues to have sales numbers in the top 10 every issue that it drops. But Denny's Camp just wrote it for that. When they started it, they were aiming for 6. He got the extension based off the pre-sales for number 1, and that's just what they're doing. I'm only current on Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman. I do plan to read other titles. I did try issue 1 of Martian Manhunter. Was a little confusing, but decent. It only gets more confusing. Only Absolute. I'm still pulling Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, and Flash. I dropped Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. Fair enough. We have 500 shops. 500. Wild. Select number, not a dozen. 53 exclusives for Absolute Batman 19. Oof. I was caught up with current reads, so I went backwards and been reading Scott Snyder's American Vampire, like 10 out of 10. The first, dude, I never read that. Did that start like in 2019 or something like that? 2020? Five or 600 would be a decent sampling. I thought it was only 100 or two. Yeah, and like I pointed out, even with their selective sampling, I guarantee you that data is not accurately represented. Guarantee it. Oh, it's even older than that. Oh, wow. It's no way, no chance. The list was bananas. Like there's some things that you can look at and wonder. There's some things you can question, debate, and then there's some things you just face palm and you'd be like, "Sure, Jan, sure." It's a literal sure, Jan moment. Like I get it. This is who you want to be the number one person on the list. Fine, that's your number one person on the list. But sure, Jan, you sure about that? Don't piss in my pocket and tell me it's raining. Some people pay attention enough to know that that's absolutely BS, but it's neither here nor there. Sure, Jan. Not falling for it. Over in the regular DC universe, outside of the absolute world, Darkseid's tool belt. That's what you can call the absolute universe at this point. Darkseid's tool belt, because that's what it is. World devised of weapons, assets, tools for him to use when he needs to. But over in the normal universe, Earth Zero, the center of the multiverse, one of two centers of the multiverse. That's a complex concept to understand. Theoretical physicist Lawrence Krauss can help you understand how there is no center of a universe while everything is the center of the universe in his book, Everything from Nothing, which is a short read, but a complicated read. But he draws some cool stuff in there that helps understand stuff like that. That's neither here nor there, though. But over in Detective Comics issue 1107, Tom Taylor kicks off his brand new story arc, Gotham's New Trinity. And it starts right here. I think a lot of people are going to be down to clown with this issue because it features a really cool combo of characters, including Batman, Green Arrow, and Dinah Prince, the Black Canary. And we have our second super chat for the day. JSS Brooklyn says, Tuesday. And what is going on, JSS? Good to see you. It's heavily disproportionate towards coastal shops, I'm guessing. The register store numbers, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Bottom line is, I give them credit for wanting to do their own list, but I think that they messed up trying to state that it was based off of hard data when they should have just been like, this is our internal employees list. Like your list would be valid, 100% valid if you said, our list, we polled our staff. We let them all put, like we asked every employee here, from our writers to our editors to our this and that. We asked our staff who their top picks are for each of these categories, and this is the results. Then it's your list based off the obvious subjective nature and taste of your staff, which would be cool. It'd be interesting. There's no debating the merit of your list. It's just, this is your list. You can have fun conversations from there. But when you're like, this is hard data, no, it's not. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sure, Jan. Hope you get to interview Frank Grillo this weekend about Peacemaker and Superman. Oh, yeah, he's going to be at WonderCon. The Mark Spears Joker cover in Detective Comics was very good. We'll take a look at it. Right here. What's going on, Tate? Good afternoon to you, good sir. I don't see a Joker cover. I don't see it. Maybe there was a trading card variant from the previous one or something. I don't know. But Detective Comics brand new story arc post DCKO. Guest starring Green Arrow and Black Canary, the Dark Knight detective, is hot on the trail of an abducted teenager with a mysterious past, but he's found himself at a dead end. In a rare moment of desperation, Batman teams up with Black Canary and Gotham City's newest resident, Green Arrow, to investigate a case with an unexpected and terrifying implication for Bruce, Diana, and Oliver's shared history. Will this trio be enough to rescue the girl and unravel the mystery of her past? Find out this really short. What a terrible synopsis. What an absolutely awful synopsis. Also, artist, colorist Pete Woods joins the interiors for this. He does a phenomenal job. The interiors on this very much reminded me of like, who is it that does Zatanna Jamal Campbell, maybe. But this was a good issue. Basically, corporate BS is happening. Batman's investigating, and Green Arrow and Dinah have moved to Gotham City, where Dinah has inherited Ted's gym, Wildcat's gym, which is cool because they're addressing some of the stuff that occurred in the JSA comics with that. And Ollie's kind of patrolling Batman's territory, and the whole thing that Batman is trying to investigate has to do with Ollie's business. So the CEO person who's under investigation is currently has a bid to buy Queen Industries, and he thinks that some of the whistleblowers associated with that CEO and some future problems it could have is taking out whistleblowers. So they start an investigation to look into the death of whistleblowers in the investigation. It's really cool. There's some of it that's very face palmy for me. It gets a little face palmy, a little frying panish. Not to get into spoilers, but Oliver Queen has been turned in, like, not really turned into, like, that's really the how they separate him from other characters is he's like the social justice warrior superhero. So watching him like congratulating Batman on going modern electric with his Batmobile, I'm like, since when is the Batmobile electric, and how does that even make sense to have an electric Batmobile? Just goofy stuff like that. It's no secret that Tom Taylor can get a little heavy-handed. He's a phenomenal writer, but some of the stuff is a little goofy like that. But overall, this was a fantastic issue. I had a couple of like more personal, heartfelt moments that highly recommend checking out. It's a great jump on point as well for those out there who enjoy Green Arrow and are upset about Green Arrow's ongoing series reaching its end. It's a good time to go back and check out the character in the pages of other books. And it looks like he might be here for a little bit, being that the story arc is called Gotham's New Trinity. You might want to check that one out. What is going on, Faith and Misery? Hello, Joffrey. What's going on? We lost in the downfall of Diamond Comics distribution is hard data. To a degree, right? Like that was good data. It was good data. Planet Con, but close enough. Yeah. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time at Planet Con. Back to this, we'll end up getting like more kind of data stuff. I mean, if people want it bad enough long term, like you already have like the IVC2 whatever website that does it and has done it outside of Diamond anyways. So you get all the point of sales data from them, you get the unit sales from them. Like there's plenty of good data out there. And even if it's not like exact, like the end all be all final number, it's still a constant measuring stick that's used over a long period of time where you could compare it against its own finding on titles over different stints of time. It's the best point of reference we have. So when you get something like Comics, the magazine, like you kind of like, yes, sure, Jan, you know what I mean? And if you don't get that reference, JSS Brooklyn has got you covered with the Brady Bunch link. On Steve's pool is Superman 36, Spider-Man, Superman number 1, Justice League Unlimited 17, Flash 31, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Human T, Volume 3, Issue number 5. Solid list. Mad Respect, what's going on? Hello. Actually don't know. So far, the Superman, Spider-Man, Absolute, Wonder Woman, Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, some good stuff. ITV2 is Comics Pro Points of Sales, which is what the Comics magazine used, Mark. But they, to a degree, they sampled less than the ICV2 one. And Comics and the ICV2 has the point of sales, but they also use units. They have multiple things. Like you can really deep dive into different stuff, but they do have the point of sales things as well. Issue 3 of Comics, the magazine. Expect something maybe. What do you mean? Yes, the point of reference sucks. There's your sure, Jan. I'm open to new Wednesday release boxes right now. They just came yesterday, so it's a hustle. So yeah, it was the same thing here. The boxes were a little late with the last of the lunar stuff showing up this morning, but luckily that was the small box. A lot of processing and organizing today. So weird. It's just not published somewhere normally. I don't get hiding the data. Manga just post it in every issue of the magazine. Well, they want to, when you're doing good, you're happy to share the data, right? When it's something to brag about, they're happy to say the numbers. Hell, Scott Snyder brags about the absolute Superman numbers on a regular basis. But when you're doing great, it's something to talk about. When you're not doing great, and not great based off your mind's opinion, not doing great based off of the opinions of those who have financial stake in the game. If you have investors or board members or people like that, and you're telling them one thing, but the opposite is true, you can't really flaunt the opposite truth, You got to keep that kind of stuff kind of below the radar where you can take the information and twist it and spin it and present it yourself in a certain light. What's going on, Nick? What's up, everybody? But as things keep increasing, as things keep going up for sales and stuff, I would imagine us to get more and more opportunity to get some stuff, get some more data and stuff like that. Next up, all right, I put out a video today showing a little short, showing a bunch of the covers for the Superman Spider-Man crossover. I think that book, the Superman Spider-Man crossover, is going to be the book of the week in terms of sales numbers, in terms of hype around it, in terms of people talking about it, just because it's a crossover, it's a Marvel DC crossover, a better crossover of characters than Deadpool Batman. You get like it seems more iconic with these two, but that's definitely going to be the book of the week in sales popularity. Wait till we start looking at all the variants and how many covers there are and stuff. It's absolutely insane. Without even getting into the store exclusives, there's an unbelievable number of actual direct market exclusives for this Superman Spider-Man. But when it comes to actual read of the week, story quality hits cliff. Hopefully you've had a chance to read some early. This Superman 36. Now, I was already excited for this. There's no secret that I was excited for this. I've been, since the return of Prime and the Legion of Darkseid 3-issue story arc in Superman, before KO and all that, I've been absolutely hyped for the return of Prime. I like the way Williamson has presented him. I like the little dash of new that they kind of gave to him. It's important when you have a vast like family character thing, like the Bat family or the Flash family or the Super family. It is important that every character has something, this quality unique to them that sets them apart from the herd. That way you don't get left with like John Kent falling under the radar or not knowing what to do with Tim Drake because we have a Robin, and you get lost in the sauce. Superboy Prime is already different than the rest of them per his journey to get here. But what Joshua Williamson did to kind of add to that makes him really, really fun, which is an interesting thing to do, to take a character like Prime, who is dangerous, deadly, can be sadistic. He's one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe, and put like almost a lighthearted gimmick to him, gives him this feeling of unpredictable that's just really enjoyable to read. So I was super excited when I heard that we're going to move into this Reign of Superboy era, because Kal-El Clark is off being a cosmic deity right now. I was excited to hear that Prime is going to get more time in the pages of a book. I was even more excited to find out that it's the title book. It's the flagship book. It's Prime time. And then I was even most excited when I sat down and read this book, and halfway through I had to set it down and look at Paul at ABX and say, this is the perfect book. This is a 10 out of 10. And from start to finish, it didn't let me down. All the Reign of Superboys have made me happy so far. Yeah, so far. But have you read this one? Have you had a chance to read 36 yet? Holy potatoes. Deadpool is a bad choice to pair with Batman. Deadpool is just not a fun character. That's a whole story for a different day. But the book was unfortunate. I think the Superman Spider-Man one ain't gonna be no different at the end of the day, unfortunately. Really weird because every other facet in the US, we publish the numbers, novels, music, movies, down to the YouTube trailers. We know the data, comics keep it all secretive. Will they get paid in sales numbers? You definitely should add Superman 36. Superboy Prime reminds me of Red Hood mixed with Deadpool. That's so funny you say that. He refers to himself in this book as as the Jason Todd, but less emo. Deadpool and Batman was just a popularity pairing two famous characters from their fields popularized. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this right here, let's see what their synopsis says first. The reign of the Superboys begins after the shocking events of DC KO. Superman is missing, but one hero steps up to take his place. Superboy Prime? Normally, Prime has only been part of the massive DC event, but now he gets a real shot at showing the world he can be just as great a hero as Superman. Superstar artist Dan Mora returns to Superman for an action-packed and fun adventure that changes the face of the DC universe. It legitimately does. This is the book where everyone turns to Superman. This is the primary Superman continuity book. This book influences and features events that take place in other books. It's altered by events from other books. So this is a very important book, and to have Prime front running it is an absolute treat. It is a delight. And what Williamson does in this is a true love letter to comic books, to Superboy, to Prime. It is absolutely amazing. Some of my primary concerns, if you're going to make this character have longevity, he's been around a long time at this point. He's been around for a little bit. I mean, he first premiered in DC Comics Presents 87 back in the day. But when you look at Infinite Crisis from 2006, that's really his kickoff. That's his comeback. That's what solidified him into current DC universe. And that was his mental breakdown, his murdering of Titans and Superboy. He killed Con-El. He did all kinds of things. He did all kinds of things. But what Joshua Williamson did for him in this was nothing short of a miracle. And it was paying proper respect to the character, where he comes before, and it's really a slam dunk right on the face of Dan Slott. Not intentionally. There's no ill will between these creators, but what he does in this is he shows how it's flipping done. And I was shocked, absolutely shocked at some of the obvious nature of it. Some of the things that you'd need to see, you would want to see for this character is, what does he do when he's not Supermaning, when he's not going around, when it's not prime time? These are some of the challenges he's going to face. How do the other superheroes look at him? How do they deal with being around him, especially without Superman here to vouch for him, to have him under his wing, to kind of be the shield between everybody else and Prime? What happens if he has another mental breakdown? When he takes the suit off, where does he go? Everything is addressed. What's his name in public? If you can't like take the primetime suit off, go around in public and just tell everyone, hey, I'm Superboy Prime, because you have to have an alter ego. How do you address that? What they do is so genius, it cannot be undersold. I have to really stress it. This is a treat when it comes to the comic book medium. Joshua Williamson is on track to deliver yet again the best ongoing series of the year with Superman. I enjoyed Superboy Prime and KO and hoping to see what's next for him. Yo, this is what's next for him. This is what's next. They absolutely crushed it. I'm surprised he hadn't made his first appearance increase in price. Yeah, that DC Comics Presents 87 you could probably still get for 10 to 20 bucks raw. But this was amazing. I want to talk spoilers for this so bad, but it would absolutely ruin the experience for yourself, and I wouldn't do that. Superman Unlimited number 11, just read it a few hours ago. Yeah, it was good. That's the most recent one, right? The Reign of the Superboy one with Tomorrow Man. That was the best issue since issue number 1. I'm like Cliff pointed out, all the stuff in the Reign of Superboy across the board has been good so far. Now, I read the Supergirl one. It wasn't bad, just not something that speaks to me, so I won't be following along with that one. But yeah, Connor Kent for life. Yeah, Connor was awesome. He was never more cool than like when he first came out. He was the leather jacket, the glasses, hitting on babes at the beach. He was super fun, especially being a kid enjoying comics and stuff. But what Jeff Johns did for him in the Teen Titans, I think, was just legendary. And then you had Superboy Prime put him down. It was crazy, that fight in Smallville. Absolutely bananas. Let's look at some of these covers. Look at that. You got a wraparound video game variant. And notice how he still rocks the Monitor armor. It's just, he has his own suit. He has his own look. He'll have everything else by the end of it. And this is an homage cover right here. That's just gorgeous. Rob Reese variant. That's awesome. Sitting there reading the comic book of Absolute Superman. That's wicked. Super wicked. Connor, John, and Prime. That's crazy. Man, that's cool. The logo variant cover, the corner box variant. So again, all of these, I think there was like 5 or 6 because one of them was a reorder from last week's Wonder Woman. But you got like Wonder Woman, Batman, Connor. There's a bunch of them this week. I picked up all of them. Remember these corner box variants? Show me a giant stack of them. Like, oh God, it adds up to a lot of money. Giving away the whole set. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday during Out Weeks, and it'll be a stack of these things. God, it's got to be close to 20 books. All foil, all these corner box variants to one lucky channel member in the Legion tier. Superman Unlimited 11 was great with Tomorrow Man. Yeah, agreed. See with the Sleeves review, I'm reading Supergirl. There you go. Look at that. This will be a connecting cover. That's just a gorgeous cover. Looks like Krypton blowing up behind him. I like these neon colors on it. Looks really cool. Yeah, super cool book. Highly recommend. I hope everyone gives this a shot. This is a proper jump on point. You get to see what's going on with Metropolis and the associated characters post DCKO with this one. So give it a shot. Check it out. I appreciate that, Rad, dropping a Legion of Comics channel membership. There you go. Appreciate that, homie. All right, let's see what we got. So, Superman 36. Now that's my pick of the week. My personal pick of the week was Superman 36, but this is my prediction of the week. This is the one that I just assume will be the biggest seller for the week. Superman Spider-Man #1. Not to be confused with Spider-Man Superman #1 that'll come out down the road. Similar to what they did with Batman, Deadpool, Batman, Marvel will get to publish and distribute one, and DC will publish and distribute one with completely different creative teams and variant covers. So I assume this one will outsell the Marvel one, similar to the last one. Deadpool, Batman came out. A lot of people bought it and everything. Then the following month, Batman, Deadpool came out. And a bunch of people didn't realize it was separate, new original content. They thought it was a subsequent print or just more variant covers. But just like the last one, you have just a large group of creatives writing a bunch of different stories featuring different characters. You got Sean Gordon Murphy, Christopher Priest, Gail Simone, Greg Rucka, Jeff Lemire, Mark Waid, Matt Fraction, and Tom King. The lineup in this is impressive. That's a super impressive lineup. Some of the matchups. See, obviously, the Superman and Spider-Man is brought to you by Mark Waid and Jorge Jimenez, so that's already solid. But Tom King and Jim Lee tell a tale of Lois and Mary Jane. Matt Fraction, who actually writes the Monarch TV show, will be doing Jimmy Olsen and Carnage. Sean Gordon Murphy takes us to the future with Superboy from the Legion of Superheroes and Spider-Man 2099. Power Girl meets Punisher. That's interesting, from Gail Simone. Christopher Priest brings us Superboy, Prime, and the Symbiote Spider-Man. Greg Rucka is going to be Daily Planet, Daily Bugle, and answer the age-old question of who would win in a fair fight, Pa Kent or Uncle Ben. Oh my gosh, that's not even nice. Oh, it says just kidding. Those two guys are too nice for each other. But Jeff Lemire and Rafa Sandoval will take us deep into the past and see the two men bond in the face of adversity. So it looks like it's going to be some fun to be had. Y'all want to look at some of these variants? So this is going to get crazy. The Jorge Jimenez cover right off the front, it is nice. It is nice. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I pulled the one for the giveaway it's part of the giveaway today, since it's the big book of the week. You know, I got the J. Scott Campbell on there. So giving one away. I haven't got one for myself. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, but what they did with the Deadpool Batman Deadpool is they did a second print, and the second print featured the amalgam character when they blended Lobo and Wolverine. So that's the actual one I have for my personal keep. I gave away my other one because I'd rather just have the amalgam cover one, because that was my favorite thing about it. I like the amalgam stuff. So I got the one for the giveaway for this, but I'm waiting to see what happens what happens next, kind of thing. I haven't dove into the pages of it yet. I'll check it out today, sometime tomorrow at the latest. But I haven't settled on the cover. I want to see what they're going to do down the road. I'm assuming a second print is coming, but there's still some great covers. Philip Tan. See, here's another Supergirl. Again, there's a lot of different Supergirl ones. It's a cool Philip Tan variant. This looks like the Supergirl from the Michael Turner era for sure, as well as Spider-Woman. Not a bad cover. Are these store exclusives? That says Virgin variant, so it might be. These gotta be store exclusives. Get off of here. Get to the regular variants. Here's the B cover from Jim Lee. I don't want to go through the store exclusives. Why is it doing that? Weird that it's not just flipping through these in order, man. Raphael Albuquerque. That's pretty solid. I like the way that Spider-Man's drawn. Super classic there. Clayton Crane crushes it with this one. Look at the red and yellow streak coming behind Superman. Looks good. I like that a lot. That's just really clean. Really clean, really crisp. Oliver Copiel. Spider-Man with his little web book bag. That's pretty dope. I just like Marvel so much I can't get these team-up books just because I can't stand Marvel's characters. Yeah, dude, that's fair. I think that it's just a cover buy, really. That Deadpool Batman one. I enjoyed the Wonder Woman Captain America story a good bit. But other than that, there's not for me, everyone's mileage will vary. For me, there wasn't a lot of reading value to it. It's kind of a gimmick. It's meant to be a gimmick book, just fun just cuz. I bought too many of these. I'm kind of on a weird fence on this whole topic. Never really been a fan of the two crossing, DC and Marvel. Man, I am if you give them room to cross. I don't think that this book shouldn't be this giant collective of different writers and artists. There shouldn't be 6 stories inside of it. There should be a Batman Superman story. Give them 40 something pages. Hell, give them 60 pages. Tell a story. Let them tell a story. We don't need to take the opportunity to shoehorn as much in there as we can, which reduces the number of pages each story get, where none of them have any value. That's the thing. They just keep shoehorning more stuff in it. That every time you add another short story, it takes away from the length of story of everything else. So you're left with no stories that have any value. I do read all of them, but they are always restricted stories. Bring back amalgam. I agree with you on that. We could use some amalgam right now. Maybe that's where this is all heading. I wish this would just scroll properly. Man, we'll just go through some of these. Ji-Hung Lee, not a fan of that one. There's the John Jang variant. I like that one. I'm just a Jang fan, though. Nathan Zerdy with another Supergirl, Black Cat. A lot of Supergirl ones. Power Girl Punisher, that's pretty cool. Comic sketch art variant. There's a Jim Lee. There we go. Now we're cooking. Steve Lieber variant. This is this is what I don't get. Like, this is a story in it. Jimmy Olsen Carnage. Give me the most innocent, nice guy with what should be the most violent, disgusting character. This is amazing right here. This Del Otto Return of Superman suit, black suit Spider-Man. I like how massive Spider-Man looks. I like how the white eyes are kind of more narrow. I like how Delato does them. If you look at the white square on the back of Spider-Man's hand where you like shoot like his symbiote webbing from, there's actually a little dot on it where you can see where it comes out. That's pretty detailed. Mitch Gerards has a beautiful cover here. Here's the other Supergirl with a classic suit with Spider-Woman. That's pretty dope. That Adam Hughes. Mikhail Janin, another gorgeous cover here, swapping up the villains with him. Dave Johnson, you got Red Sun Superman and Hulk Spider-Man. Don't understand the pairing, but sure. This is interesting. This is the Art Adams variant. You'll think that this is a Frank Miller variant almost. It almost makes you think it's a Frank Miller variant. I saw a Frank Miller cover out there that had like steel and armored suit Spider-Man, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't figure out if it was a direct market cover or what. I like Spider-Man has the webbings under the armpits. I don't know. I like this one. It's got the classic Golden Age look to Superman, which Frank Miller will draw his S like that a lot. Got an Art Germ with another Supergirl, and what's this? Good gosh, I forget this girl's name. This other Spider Girl from Original Sin, Silk, Supergirl and Silk. There's a J. Scott Campbell. That's pretty wild, vibrant, colorful. I like it. Wraparound cover is sick. This Scott Koblish wraparound. I wish we could see the back of it on here. There are so many characters. It looks awesome. Very cool. Joshua Middleton crushed it with this one. Looks great. David Nakayama with the Kingdom Come Superman and Spider-Man Negative Space. I like this one a lot. Daniel Sampier gives us our Superboy Prime with the symbiote Spider-Man. Prime's cape is pretty extra, but still a cool cover. Could have been a little bit more vibrant. It's kind of got like this whitewash to it. And then Rafael Sandoval giving us a classic homage to the original crossover from the Treasury edition. It's a gorgeous cover. And then you get the Spider Buggy and the Super Jet. All the little weapons flying at him. Jack in the Box. Dancing Monkey. Scorpion's Tail. A yo-yo. That's just fun. And there's your Connor. And so you got Connor Kent, Superboy, and Spider Punk. Connor's making a yeah face, which is kind of weird. Jeffrey Spokes. Now there's a David Talaski variant. That's pretty cool. Power Girl and Black Cat. Spider Ham and Crypto. Yeah, that was one thing I was salty about with the last one they did. They did that Crypto story with Jeff the Land Shark. And it was like a significant amount of pages compared to a lot of the other stories. And it was so pointless. I get like you wanted to include these characters that are considered cute and bubbly or whatever. You gave them a variant, but you gave them like 6 to 8 pages in the book instead of other stories with words in them. And there's no words in it. So hopefully we don't do something like that again in this. I think it's just, I don't know. I know you have to market to everybody kind of thing. But it's like they can't predict the future. It's not even that they can't predict the future. They don't make good choices in the sense like, how will this affect us in the future? It's like, do they have those conversations? If we do a Deadpool Batman book and we waste 8 pages on a cartoon kiddie story that has no dialogue, how will that affect people's decision to buy the next issue? I don't think they have those conversations sometimes. And what are some of the arguments? Well, we need to have something in here for the little kiddies. That's fine, but the book isn't kid appropriate because of other stories that were included in it. So that's already out. So now you either you have to have an age range, like it's made for this age group or made for only adults or whatever. It wasn't made for kids that would have fun, laugh, or think the Crypto Jeff the Landshark thing is appropriate. That's already out. So it just put together weird, like, what are you going to do? Like, hey, I want to read this with my little kid, but I'm going to have to make sure he doesn't read this one or that one. It's just some bad decisions were made along the way. I hope they don't do it with this one. Hopefully they don't. We'll see. Jorge Jimenez wraparound. He's a really good artist. It's insane. The foil version and the blank. I think a lot of people are going to be grabbing that blank. Holy potatoes. This is the Yu Young Eom. Eom, you can always tell from the faces. Always tell from the faces. But if you just like put your thumb over the faces, it's some of the best artwork I've seen in recent times for a cover artist. That Supergirl face, that looks like Sasha Kali or Sasha Kale Supergirl. Very specific choice there. I guess who's that character from Marvel? I can't even tell. Is that supposed to be MJ or Jackpot or something like that? But that Supergirl is wicked. Eom is an incredible artist. I love the details, the lighting, the reflection, all that stuff. Kari Andrews, Superman's face looking a little extra there. Terry Dodson. The Dodson was nice. These things are in weird order. I was going back through the same ones we've seen. Surdy. Yeah, weird order. There's a lot more than that. Those are just the ones that they're showing. Those are just the ones that they're showing. Let's see what the chat says. Don't get caught up with everybody here. Why does Soups have no eyes in these? I don't know. They look like JR. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I'm so disappointed in the 8 Adams variant. Where's the Arthur Adams at? Was that the Golden Age one? Yeah, this. Yeah, that's... Wait, y'all don't like this one? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Why is he channeling Frank Miller? Dude, that's a perfect comparison. It does feel like a free comic book day book. Something you get in and out. It's just one-off kind of thing, just meant for funsies. Open to all access if you want to read it for fun. Dude, you don't have to invest in other stories to get here or after this. Yeah, it would have been... Dude, can you imagine that? Like if you did something like this for free comic book day where you only have to publish like one interior, but you just do variants, you know? People be forced to have to pick their favorite 2 or 3 as shops limit the number of free books you could get. That would be interesting. What's up, Bogsy? No idea. I didn't order that one. You'd be shocked to learn that the Marvel ones that are coming are not as good as DC ones. LOL. I would not be shocked. That was something that I talked about this past Sunday night on my live streams. Someone asked, like, we bet a 10-piece chicken nugget that the DC one's going to do better than the Marvel one. And we had to set a standard. Like, are we talking sales number? Because whichever one comes out first is most likely to have better sales number due to what we mentioned earlier, with a lot of people won't grab the next one. They'll think they're just second prints, variants, whatever. And went back and looked. Deadpool Batman, the Marvel one, came out first. It had slightly higher sales number than the DC one. But when you go to a site like League of Comic Geeks where people review and rate comics, you will see that the DC one that came out is rated higher. I think it was like a 3.8 to a 4 point something, and just had slightly less reviews on the second one than the first one. But the DC one was rated higher. It had a lot better stories overall in it, a lot more entertaining. But I'll bet this one will be different in a sense that I think the first one that comes out will outsell the second one. And I bet that the review ratings are higher. I haven't looked at the creative teams on the Marvel one yet, but the DC one here is like all-star studded cast here. So it'll be interesting. Hi, can you please help me why I can play DC? I don't know what you mean. Rephrase the question. I was disappointed Adams covered 2. I think I only ordered 1 or 2. Clark's face is off. Yeah, it looks special. With Wonder Woman, you know how Superman and Batman have respectively Detective Comics and Action Comics. Do any other DC characters have something similar? No. I'm surprised Sensational Comics doesn't come back as like a secondary Wonder Woman, but I don't think anyone else justifies the sales of having multiple ongoing titles like Superman and Batman or Spider-Man do. There's only a select number of characters that are popular enough to financially justify having multiple ongoing titles like that. I guess the X-Men, you could argue, because they always have countless books, numerous books, right? Green Lantern at times, but that'll be at times. As far as just nonstop, always, never-ending, multiple ongoing titles. Yeah, I think Green Lantern would be the closest thing to that because the core, the vast number of popular ring slingers. No, just those two heroes have it like that, Batman, Superman. And also it's because of the historical aspect of Detective Comics and Action Comics. You know, those books weren't started as Superman and as Batman books. They became that due to popularity over time. Over at Marvel, it'd be like if Tales to Astonish started coming out weekly as just an alternative Hulk book. It didn't start as a Hulk book, just over time it became one kind of thing. It did in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, Batman had Brave and the Bold, but it was still just Batman at that point, right? More Batman titles. There's times when characters have multiple ongoing titles or short-lived runs and stuff, but nothing to the extent that Batman has detective and Superman has action. Yeah, Adventure Comics had a long run with singular JLA members. Yeah, Adventure was just a Superboy comic for a long time, though, right? Got the Legion popped up there and all that. Yeah. But I think those are really just the only two that weren't the companies investing in it. I mean, that lets you know that, like, you know, today people complain about why won't they let this book have more issues? Why do they stop them so soon? Like, dude, it's always like that. Unless stuff sells, they can't justify it. New Amazing Spider-Man 25 comes out. Here's another big one, and here's the true epilogue to DCKO right here. Justice League Unlimited issue number 17, brand new story arc called Amnesty, and it starts right here, and you can kind of get an idea of what it could possibly be about, because the cover features not just the Justice League, it features a lot of characters from the Legion of Doom and or the Suicide Squad, basically villains. This book tackles the big question. It literally picks up as DCKO is ending and goes from there. So this is the character's immediate response to Superman's exit in KO number 4 and what they do moving forward. And obviously, for reasons that this book will get into, which is absolutely brilliant, and I won't be able to talk about because this is a non-spoiler show, granting amnesty to the villains becomes a topic. Now, some of this is going to be, for me, debatable. So if y'all read this, prepare for me to question you, prepare for me to push back against how you feel about this book, because I think that's what's fun about comics. These are stories. They're providing us with insights on topics, ways to think about things, different perspectives to view the world through. And sometimes that makes me question what the writers were thinking. Sometimes that makes me question the motives. And I'm excited to do that. And that's when a book is really good, when you can sit down and you can discuss and have topics of conversations to go on with it. The variant right here by Bruno Redondo is part of today's giveaway, so don't go anywhere. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. We'll be doing that here shortly. But this was a great read. I absolutely loved it. I love getting into like the greater continuity stuff, and this doesn't ignore any of that. Just like Unlimited, excited for this sucker. Yeah, dude, it's a really good issue. A lot of cool variants. You get a logo variant. A beautiful logo variant there. And of course, the corner box featuring Wonder Woman and Red Tornado foiled out of its mind, pulled, grabbed, going into the Legion Loot giveaway. We're drawing for that the first Sunday of every month. The full corner box set will be this month's giveaway. So make sure you hit that join button, become a channel member, make sure it's in the Legion tier. If you're in the supporter tier, I thank you. I appreciate you. But the supporter tier doesn't put your name in the Legion Loot giveaway. Have you changed the time of your Sunday show going forward, or a while, or just every now and then? Hit that notification bell and find out every Sunday when I go live. It's kind of a live stream of convenience. I go live when it's convenient on Sundays. For like the past month now, I've bounced around the time just based off of how my day was going. having a consistent time works best for viewers and all that stuff, but not for me. Not on Sunday. What works best for me on Sunday is going live uh, randomly. If the kids are off hanging out with grandma on Sunday and the wife's at work, the house is empty, it's perfect to go ahead and go live, get it out of the way, and then have the evening completely free. So kind of just go live when it's convenient for me, Burke, and Paul. Kind of just random. But yeah, this answers a lot of questions and springboards us into the next part of the All In saga. Now, Scott Snyder's talked about this All In era and how the current DC Next Level banner that we're under right now is just phase 2 of the All In saga. The All In saga, which started with the DC All In special featuring the supposed death of Darkseid, which ultimately led to the events of DC KO. It gets put in its place. This issue really puts everything that we just been through for the past year in its proper place in the history halls of DC Comics. And by doing that, it kind of lines you up and aims you toward the future, puts you on the proper track so that you're moving forward down those tracks. And I don't want to get into spoiler territory, so I can't really say much else about that. I want to talk more about this, but a lot of this book is what I would consider spoiler territory. And for me, anything that takes away from, oh, snap, or that's awesome, or oh, cool, I don't want to take any of those moments away from any readers while you go through this. Just know that this book is greatly important. If you don't pull Justice League Unlimited, if you just kind of keep up here or there, but you read DC KO, I would think that this issue is required reading. Like if DC KO is released in the collected edition, this issue should come as the final issue of DC KO. You need it. Sunday fun day, absolutely. 34, what is going on? Hello, hello. So yeah, hope everybody picks this up. It's an important issue for context and continuity. Ultimate Endgame number 3. So I don't ever talk about Ultimates on here because it's a I mean, I'll give you a hot take. It's a failed experiment. I've talked about it before that the Marvel Ultimate Universe version 2 here is a failed experiment. Like good on them for trying it, but it's a failed experiment. And depending on, I mean, they can rewrite the future whenever they want to because it's all just subjective for the creators as they go. But if when you read this, if you've been following along with my feelings and my takes on the Ultimate Universe, because I gave it a fair shot. I pulled and read Spider-Man for a while. That's that stupid X-Men book from Peach Momoko. I tried the Wakanda book, was trash. What else was there? Read some of the Ultimates along the way. Y'all recall my consistent thoughts about this the entire time. When you read this issue of Ultimate Endgame number 3, I'm like, damn, Mark was right. If y'all were investing in this, sorry. You'll see. You'll see. Oh man. Here's one that I'm on the fence about. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Flash issue number 31. Yeah, what's going on, Jeffrey? Yeah, dude, the Peach Momoko X-Men book, it's just my personal opinion. If you like it, I'm glad that someone likes it. But I picked it up like, all right, let's see what they do with the Ultimate X-Men here. And they don't even do an X-Men book. They call it that, but that's not what it is. Like, I get it. There's a mutant character, but whatever. The Wolverine one was all right. See, I'm a big fan of Marvel's Ultimate Universe. I was there along for the ride. The Ultimate X-Men back in the day, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the events that they did. It was a blast. Had some lows, had some major highs, but overall it was a net positive. It was good. Like when you look back on it, you can remember it with fond memories and you can recommend it to people. It was good. Can't do that with this new stuff. There's nothing about the current Ultimate Universe that if someone says, hey, give me a list, like I want to get into some books, give me a list of 3 to 5 stories to go read. And you kind of just if you go and you go pick up some trade paperbacks and hand it to them, you would never hand them anything of the new Ultimate Universe. None of it. Not saying all of it's bad, but none of it would hit your list to hand to a new reader because you think that this will keep them reading. This will win them over. Marvel's quickly becoming a failed experiment altogether. Yeah, hopefully they bounce back though, man. I'm hoping that they bounce back. We'll see. What's going on, Brian LCS? Hello, hello. I ordered that randomly just for the Kinetic Books cover with 2 awesome characters. I don't mind Maelstrom though. What, the Flash one? Flash, love it. All right, this is one that has me a little nervous. We'll see what happens. I read first 10 issues of Peach X book before dropping it. I didn't make it 10. I think I read 3. I think I read 3 and threw in the towel. But good on you for lasting that long. Ryan North and Gavin Goudry are brand new creative teams on Flash. So we got through, guys. We made it through. We survived the Dark Ages, collectively known as the Cy Sperrier run on the Flash. Never in a million years would I have ever thought that I would have dropped Flash from my pool list, just for the simple sake of having the run complete and intact. I decided along the way that I'm going to drop Cy Sperrier's Flash, pick it back up when the new creative team comes on, and I'll go back down the road and fill in those missing issues out of a dollar bin. Because I'm not going to read them. I was mad. I was upset. I wasn't alone. The Cy Sperrier run ran a lot of people off, pun intended. But Mark Waid swooped in consistent Mark Waid fashion and saved the day. During the DC KO event, he took over the Flash title, delivering 3 issues that were tied into KO with the entire Flash family hopping around the time string, being chased by the Legion of Darkseid, corrupting the Speed Force to make it the Omega Force. Man, he made it fun. He made it fast-paced. He made it good. Felt good to pick up Flash. I was excited to pick up Flash. And then I'm like, man, how does Mark Waid do it? How does Mark Waid write so many books? Why is this man carrying the collective weight of DC Comics on his back? He doesn't have to. They have a lot of good talent. And I found out that he's not on Flash permanently. He's just here for those 3 issues. I'm like, that's sad. It'll be okay. Maybe they'll give the Flash back to Jeremy Adams. That would be amazing. But then I looked, and lo and behold, Flash is being taken over by yet another Marvel writer who's abandoning the ship. Now, that's my term. That's my phrase. That's my way of putting it. I know it can get some knee-jerk reactions. Been pointing it out. It looks like so many regular house writers at Marvel are leaving or coming over to DC, not necessarily leaving Marvel altogether, but all of a sudden they found time to come write at DC Comics now that DC is doing gangbusters. You got Scotty Young, Scotty Young with Al Ewing, Ryan North. There's just a lot of Marvel writers coming over right now. Dan Slott. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what's happening. And I'm super nervous about it. Marvel has written themselves into a hole. And I don't know how much of that is from the editorial side or from this is just actually the talent that they're dealing with. This is actually what their writers do. It's actually what they bring to the table. We don't know from just the comic book reader's perspective how much of that is which one. And I don't want to find out because it's unnecessary. Like I said, DC has so much good talent. They've been doing it. They've collectively, with the talent they already had, they have brought over all these readers. They have ran up their sales. They have put themselves at the forefront of the comic book hobby. So I don't want to see all these people jumping ship at Marvel and coming over here just because that's where the spotlight is and dragging DC down. And I'm afraid that might happen. So when I picked this book up, I was super nervous. I'm like, golly, don't let this be like the Fantastic Four trash they have right now. I know a lot of people like Fantastic Four. It's still not like a top-selling book. The writing it isn't bringing over new readers. It's not carrying on long-staying numbers. They have to relaunch it every so often. But Ryan North has a good reputation. He's got a solid reputation from what I understand. I couldn't stay on his run. I bailed off of it. Again, I try a lot of stuff. It just doesn't stick. I don't have anything against Ryan North or his writing, but I got nothing good to say about it because he hasn't been able to keep me on. I have to look up and see some other stuff that he did. See, Mike dropped it around 6. Marvel does not pay like they used to, and was already pretty bad. Spare Flash is unreadable, period. Yeah, period. I think I made the first 10 if all the new Ultimate titles, and they kind of just fizzled out for me. I was excited for the maker, but not interested. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's over with. It's cooked. So here we are with a brand new take on Flash. Not take on Flash. Brand new story arc starts here. The post-KO event, the post-KO story arc. Flashes of Insight starts here. Now I got to tell you, immediately from the cover, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, comment, subscribe, the little hearts and lightning bolts, like she's selfing. So one thing I can't stand in comic books is when people lean into social media, like write social media stories. It's corny. It's corny. I think that people that are at Marvel and DC need to understand something about the readers. There's a reason why we get in a vehicle and we drive to a store. We have to park our cars sometimes in annoying, troublesome parking lots, and we walk into a store, a physical store, where we talk to an employee face to face, socially interact, where we get our books out of a subscription, a physical subscription that we then give them our hard-earned money for. Then we have to reverse this process. This whole process we now reverse and we go home. And once we're home, we take these physical pieces of paper, we sit down and we dive into another world. We explore the mental cosmos of the multiverse with these characters because we don't like social media, because we don't care about like, comment, and subscribe. We are actively avoiding those things by being comic book collectors. So when you do stupid stories about them, I think you're starting behind the finish line. You're giving yourself a handicap, a disadvantage. I don't know if other people feel that way, but I can't stand the stupid stories where people are like, you have superheroes that are social mediaing, or your villain is like some streamer or this. It's the most cringiest things in the world. The most cringiest things in the world. So annoying. Such an annoying concept to make a story out of. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. So when I picked this book up and I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. A freaking Marvel house writer coming over here, and the first thing we get are social media stories. Great, great. So I get into the book, check it out. It is a starting point. And the important thing with a Flash book, I think, for me, for the character right now, is balancing the characters, because it's a family book. It's the Flash family. There's a lot of things that you have to balance. And I will tell you, Ryan North does a great job doing it. Ryan North does a really, really good job right out of the gate, balancing the Linda, Jake, Irie, Wally thing. You get a good introduction to the family, the characters, right off the bat. Now, there's a small element of this that is the social media thing. The way that it's presented is showing you the problems with the social media thing. That wasn't too bad, but it was a little insufferable at first, a little repetitive, but then you get the ending that kind of like, oh, nice. So I gotta say, Ryan North did a good job with this first issue. Art imitating life is nothing new. No, it is not. No, it is not. There's a lot of life. There's more life that you can imitate. There's more life that you can imitate in your single lifetime. So people imitating social media, it's just cringe. Parts of life are cringe. So if you imitate cringe parts of life, you have a cringe product, is my argument with it. Was this cover used like in a different DC? Probably. It's a cliche. It's a trope. It's a trope. It's a trope that for me personally, that y'all ain't got to feel this way. It's how I feel. For me personally, I don't like it. Yep. I like the art imitating life, but yeah, the social media side has not hit in comics. Yeah, dude, I'm telling y'all, there's a reason why. If you look back on it in the last 5-10 years, whenever they do these influencer social media things, it's always a flop. It's never well received. And I honestly think it's because the general audience that's buying these books wouldn't be buying them if they were into that kind of content. If that part of life, if imitating that part of life was a part of life that they didn't think was cringe, those stories wouldn't be so bad. They're always cringe. They are always cringe. But I got to tell you, Ryan North is off to a good start. His style of writing fits pretty well for this. And there's some Wally villain interaction that I absolutely loved that reminded me heavily of that first issue of the Matt Fraction Batman run when he's talking to Croc, which I think was one of the coolest comic moments for me in the past year. I don't know what it is. I have this soft spot for Croc. I like the character Killer Croc a lot. But that was a cool moment. And Flash kind of gets one of those moments in this. But man, could be my age, could just be the social media thing. It's just cringe. That stuff is cringe. But the way that it's addressed in the book is calling it cringe as well. The book doesn't, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. What's going on, James? Good to see you here, bro. What is happening? The one with Superman and Batman where Superman is forced to smile. You know, I think the only time I liked it was Punchline using social media as a call to arms. Fair enough. I'm so tired of all the fake skits on social media. It's becoming a catch now. Fake skits. Oh, you mean just a fake influencer stuff? Yeah. World Tree. World Tree was an interesting, like, kind of a dissection of it, right? The fakeness of the internet has been old for me, and this new AI movement is now making it worse. Yo, the AI movement AI is in war with comic book creators. You'll see this week in comics, multiple issues of DC Comics alone is addressing AI, like multiple issues. You have the Detective Comics is addressing AI. You have the Green Lantern issue is addressing AI. AI is going to become a burned out trope real fast, but the creators are definitely mad at AI right now, and it's showing in their stories. I'm waiting on World Trade to finish it. Soft spot for Croc. Yes, sir. That is a good hashtag. But yeah, I'm still cautiously optimistic about this Flash run. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the Cy Sperrier run. Look at this Ballin cover. A little homage to showcase there. But yeah, picked up the corner box variant foil. So that'll be in the Legion loop. So we'll see. I'm nervous about Ryan North. We'll see where it goes. That's where I stand. Flash 31 gets a cautious recommendation from me. Give it a 7.5 out of 10 with a cautious recommendation. Yeah. Big anniversary issue, though, in Green Lantern number 33. It's Legacy number 600, the 600th issue of Green Lantern, and it's here with a bang. Awesome wraparound cover, oversized issue, bunch of pages, bunch of pages, 56-page count. Dune is about to address AI. Yeah, the learning machines. Well, this is fun. I think that this is a great way to do these anniversary issues. You know, the typical format for these things is it's kind of like the Superman Spider-Man. It's kind of like they get a bunch of writers and artists. You come in and you do a bunch of 6 to 8 page stories. Well, they don't do that with this. The formatting is a little bit better. It's a full-on regular issue with more bonus content. You know how we get a lot of backup stories these days? That'll be like 4 pages or whatever. Think of it like that, with just more backup stories. But it's really cool. In this new era, in this current era of Green Lantern, it's the rise of Kyle Rayner. It looks like Kyle's about to be forefronting a lot more than he has been, which is awesome because, you know, we have Wally forefronting. Maybe we could get Connor to forefront some Green Arrow stuff. But pushing Kyle up is a great idea. The torchbearer, you know, he's the light in the dark. It's kind of like the Batman family, Flash family, Superman family. You have a lot of characters. It's important not to let any get forgotten by the wayside. And we know from the last issue, Hal is off to space and he tells Kyle to watch things back on Earth. But Kyle Rayner leads the next chapter of the Green Lantern's mythos, starting here. Celebrate 600 issues of Green Lantern with epic stories, legendary creators, and new costumes designed by superstar artist David Nakayama, which I'm assuming he's referring to Kyle's new costume, which looks pretty dope. It looks like his regular costume, just with minor changes to it. Kind of like the modern day, give it more lines. We need more lines. Put more lines on the suit. It looks fine. I'm a fan of his 90s suit. His 90s suit doesn't need updating. It's kind of ahead of its time, if you ask me. But Kyle's gotten more redesigns than any of the other Lanterns, I think. The more I look at it, the more I don't like it. It's fine. It's fine. Just put him back in his 90s suit. I don't need to change him. There's a good look at it from David Nakayama. Like, it doesn't even look like a lantern symbol. Just put him back in his suit. It looks too similar to change it. Logo variant, corner box variant. Good grief. Look at this wraparound cover. Good grief. That's wild. See, some of these make it look like the center, the lantern is centered on his chest. It just looks like a light. It doesn't even look like a lantern. It's not supposed to be centered, though. Not bad. It just looks like a more modernized version of his regular suit. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. In this issue, Hal Jordan will be tested as never before. That doesn't happen. And a new Lantern stands poised to step in should he fail. Hal embarks on a mysterious mission with Kyle Rayner, finally moves back to Los Angeles, and again takes up the mantle of Green Lantern of Earth. Join Kyle as he finds a job, navigates traffic, and chases down escaped villains from Oa. All this plus a host of legendary guests, artists, and writers from the Lantern's past, and an answer to the question posed to Star Sapphire in the last issue. None of that is true. Dude, I don't understand the solicitations on these. None of that is true. Like, all right, first off, some of that is true. The Kyle stuff in the middle is true. You know, again, Hal leaves in the last issue. So Kyle kind of setting up shop on Earth, you know, and taking Odyssey with him, which I think is cool. Odyssey is the character that kind of got introduced in that run where they brought in Silver Scarab, which was amazing. But kind of just him just getting solidified back on Earth. Wally guest stars, which is fantastic, getting Kyle and Wally on a little misadventure. The science cells got opened up on Oa in the Starbreaker Supremacy story arc. There's six prisoners that are not accounted for. So Kyle's tasked with tracking them down on Earth. So we'll track down one of them in this issue. You get a little bit backup story checking back in with Hal and that little tease that they gave us at the end of the last issue with the Wonder Twin looking for a brother. And then you get a little bit of backstory on Hal. You get a Hal origin, a Kyle origin, and then the proper issue length is Kyle setting up shop on Earth, which is really good. But there's nothing about him popping the question with Star Sapphire. There's nothing about him making this crazy decision. Hal just a little backup story in it kind of thing. I don't like the synopsis being untrue. I don't like them being untrue. I feel like that's just setting yourself up for failure. What if someone goes and buys this based off just that little angle that you say and it's not in the book? You're going to run them off. Looks like Ben 10. Yeah, a little bit. The crab mask suit. There we go. Yeah, put him back in the crab mask suit. I'll give you that. He looks better with the clean mask. But I like the crab mask all the same. What do you think of Justice League Intergalactic coming out next month? Haven't thought about it, but I'm there for it. Yeah, Kyle's a little more armor than other Lanterns with his gauntlets and mask and boots. Yeah, dude, I like the gauntlets on the arm especially. Do I have my Total Justice toys somewhere of him? His 90 suit is peak. I absolutely agree. It's hard to beat perfection when you've already perfected it. But I get it. New suits, fun. It's good to change them every now and then. New Iron Man #3, Void Rivals. Punisher #2 from Benjamin Percy's run. I'm definitely getting that. Love me some Benjamin Percy. Department of Truth #36. Hype for that. Oh, there's World Tree out this week. Harley. I'm not picking up Harley, but The Silent Sentinel starts here. Harley with a Batman suit. They need to just make her a villain again, man. Like they just, I'm at the point like, why isn't she just running around with Joker again? It's been so long. Have her snap and go get Joker out the facility he's in the Matt Fraction run. The Bat Quinn begins. Not only are they pushing her to just be like a sympathetic villain, she's like a hero now. Falling under the amnesty thing with the Justice League Unlimited on the cover of that. I am the Knife. My body is full of DCKO energy. After the thrilling conclusion of our latest crossover, I've got a new lease on life. Yeah, and you'll get into that. We've touched on that or talked about it. Some of these characters that were affected by the KO event, Guy Gardner, Aquaman, so on, the characters that were there. So they'll touch on that a little more in this week's Justice League Unlimited. Like I said, it's a proper finale to the DCKO, proper cooldown. Yeah, I'm not sure what all was going on with that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Harley being a straight up hero like that. It seems goofy to me. Hyde Street is out. Super pumped for that. The Butcher of Hyde Street's finally here. Just a lot of good stuff. It's a massive week. Looks like that's the primary amount of DC stuff. A lot of subsequent prints of Absolute books and all that. Mark Spears' new Midnight Man is out. That's just a one shot that ties in with his monsters. Definitely pick that up. Super cool cover. Excited to see what's up with this. I'm enjoying the monster stuff. It seems to be getting significantly better as it goes. Significantly better as it goes. What's going on, Biggie? What's up? What's up? She's a Robin. Yeah. Not the best Harley cover. Definitely not. CBCS have just announced they won't be grading comics anymore from April 17th. Shocker. Shocker. We all called that as soon as that. Didn't CGC buy them? Didn't CGC buy Beckett or whatever it was? As soon as they bought him, like, there they go. There they go. Over with. Over. Rod the Rican, what's going on, homie? Good to see you. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Every day is a good day. Just try missing one. You know, there it is. PSA bought Beckett. There you go. Yeah, over with. Over with. And that's more impactful on the trading card side of things, right? Midnight Man is going to be at least 2 issues. Well, that's good news because according to this, and as we've shown, well, I mean, I guess y'all find out when you read them, but as I point out on a weekly basis, these solicits are not the most accurate of things, but it says right here, a brand new one-shot from Mark Spears, set in the record-breaking Mark Spears Monsters universe, introduces the origin of an all-new superhero, Midnight Man. Who is he? Where did he come from? And how does he fit into a world overrun by monsters and madness? All will be revealed in this standalone origin story that launches a bold new hero into the monster universe. Every legend has a beginning. This one begins at midnight. So is it going to be like a one shot now and then another one down the road? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's being solicited as just a one shot. I'm down for more. I know that. Give me more. I'll check it out. Midnight Man was spoiled at MegaCon to be an ongoing, according to Spears. We'll see. So is this issue 1 of the ongoing, or is this just like a like, will a Midnight Man ongoing come later and this is just a standalone? Will it be another issue number 1, I guess? Kind of like how with Geiger, you know, Geiger had its miniseries and then they came back with issue 1 of an ongoing, you know. So there's actually like 2 issue number 1s of Geiger, 1 for the miniseries. Well, I guess you can also spoil, like, yeah, it says at the very end of the book, it says to be continued in Midnight Man number 2 coming later this year. So yeah, that answers the question right there. So yeah, it'll be later this year. It'll be in issue number 2 specifically. So yeah, there you go again. Another solicitation, completely bananaed. That's cool. Lunar has it as a one shot. Yeah, so it's later down the year. Paul, grab a copy of it and look at the last page of it. Looks like a huge reveal in a big old box. It says to be continued in number 2 later this year. Yeah, it's not FOC'd yet, I guess. Well, that's good news because what is it? Monsters only runs to 12, is it? And Monster and the Wolf is only 3, so it's good that there's still going to be more stuff already planned in the Monster universe. Because again, I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's getting better as it goes, as he finds his footing. Is especially after this last issue of Monsters, where you just had the police interrogating the Mad Hatter, putting so much into context and even addressing like, oh, I know so much is going on, so many loose plot threads, so many this, so many that. That was kind of cool to have it from the Mad Hatter's perspective to kind of tighten it up a little bit, to bring it all back together. So that's cool news. Cool news for me. Cool news for me. What else was on here? Man, I lost my place. Hyde Street. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the pull list for me and stuff. Pretty much it. Let me pull this up on my phone, check in on this because we're getting ready to do the giveaway coming up on the end of the show here. See how many super chats we've hit so far. I think it was like 2 or 3, right? All right. Monsters number 9 was insane. Yeah, was that the one with the Mad Hatter? Kind of went wild. Hope I get that Surfer 1 reprint. I ordered a foil too. Nice. Yeah, they're thick, dude. Those Silver Surfer reprints are super thick. I was looking at it today. That is a thick comic right there. 64 pages. 64 pages. That's an awesome cover too. Iconic book. I like that you can see these wearing shorts as well. Yeah, that's a iconic book right there. Super cool. You don't even know if they got foil, but I asked for them. Oh, you mean if your shop did? Yeah, it's listed. I mean, it's solicited with foil. Paul's in the chat. Well, he might be busy, might be working. MJ dropping the £2 super chat for the love of the game. Nice. Let's go. All right. We're getting to the end here. Running out of time. Let me pull this up. Remind everybody about to do the giveaway for the week. We're only 3 out of 5 of the super chat, so we haven't quite hit the limit to throw in the bonus book. So we do have the Superman Spider-Man number 1 J. Scott Campbell and the Bruno Redondo Justice League Unlimited number 17 variants given away today. So get ready. What's the hashtag going to be? What's the hashtag going? Yeah, we're at 3 out of 5. 2 more super chats to get the bonus books in there. That'd be 4 additional books, trading cards, stickers, and more going into the giveaway as well. If we hit the super chat goal, you have till have till the end of the stream to get it there. We're gonna do prime time for the giveaway. Hashtag prime time because it is in fact prime time this week. And I think that Superman 36 is definitely going to be the read of the week. Brad says, ready for DD tonight. Is that Daredevil or Dungeons and Dragons? I know there's a lot of community members doing the live Dungeons and Dragons thing. But Daredevil, is that start tonight? The new season of Daredevil? Season 1 really let me down. Really let me down. Maybe I'm more hopeful if you're talking about Daredevil Born Again season 2. I'm definitely a lot more hopeful for it. Because that first season, I don't know how much of it was filmed at the same time. But if it was filmed at the same time, I'll tell you now, we're cooked. I'll tell you right now. Season 1 and 2 was filmed together, we're cooked. If not, has some good potential. I don't know if I'm Biggie's comment. It went fast by. I'm fighting myself to not buy Golden Age instead of a book that cost more. Showcase 34 might get Sandman Kirby instead. Sandman Kirby is super cheap, bro. Talking about the blue cover with the red and yellow suit. That's a super affordable book right there. Slept on key. Definitely a slept on book. Yeah. Dude, whichever one makes you more happy. That's all you gotta say. Which one am I more happy with? Ultimately, you end up with both of them. You know what I mean? Ultimately, you just get them both. But which one do you need first? Which one is first? Brian LCS dropping a $2 super chat. I think that got us there. That got us to 5 super chats. 5 to 5 goals a minute. There you go. Brian to save the day. Yeah, we are at 5. There you go. The additional stuff is going in there. While there's comments come in, we're going to grab some stickers and extra stuff and things. All right. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Books. All right. Additional trading cards, sealed pack stickers, and more going into there with 4 additional comic books. And I encourage you, if you happen to win, post a picture, because I intentionally don't show the 4 bonus books so that you can actually be surprised when you open mail. There's this era on YouTube. It was so funny to watch. It was super entertaining. People would buy something, and then when it would arrive to them, they would make a video pretending like they didn't know what they bought so that they could pretend to be surprised. It was super funny. I enjoyed it immensely. Some people still do it. I forgot what I bought, but I bought it. Here it is. It's in here. I got it, despite your tracking telling you what it was anyways. But so if you win one of these DC days, you know 2 of the books, but you legitimately get to open it and discover the other books. So share a picture of it on social media so people can see what you won. They'd appreciate that. Did they say how many years past the first season it's supposed to be? I don't think so. I think it's like a direct continuation, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's just a direct continuation. Purple and yellow. Huh. Purple and yellow. I'll show you which one I was talking about. I was talking about the red and yellow. I was talking about this one. When a boy named Jed Walker has a strange dream of a drowning man who appears in reality to give him the evil little doll, it spurs the Sandman to emerge from the dream stream into the real world to stop the plans of General Electric. Jack Kirby's The Sandman #1. This is the one that I was talking about. The Sandman. Oh, it's Brad's birthday. Happy birthday, homie. Happy birthday to you. And a hero comes along. It's a good song. Free Key Louie is in the building. What's up, homie? Good to see you. This is a lot of shorthand. DDRB S2 pickups where S1 leaves off. The 40 Sandman going back. Talking about Wesley Dodd Sandman? Oh no, the 40 is Marvel's Timely. Going way back. Super cool. Is that going to be an eBay purchase? That's super cool. Yeah, I think you should go with that one. You don't see a lot of people looking or pulling or caring much for that. That's the Joe Simon era Sandman. I don't think I've man, knowing of a character and knowing a character are two different things. And I definitely have not read like that Joe Simon, Jack Kirby era Sandman. I know of him thanks to Pops, like I know of so much of this stuff, but I don't have any real experience with that Sandman. Yeah, that's super cool. I would definitely recommend that. Like, I mean, what are the chances of finding one? Like, if you find one at a good price, how often is that going to happen, anyways? I would definitely, that'd be my recommendation. If you find something like that at that point, God, getting close to 100-year-old piece, man, that would be crazy. Born Again season 1 was not good. Facts. Hopefully they learn from that. They won't, and set up season 2 and step up season 2. They won't. I don't see any reason to think that they will. Mark, did you open your AOK yet? No, I don't think so. I don't know, man. I don't remember. I don't remember opening it. What was in it? I might have opened it, or it might have gotten put into the pyramid. Dude, I honestly don't remember right now. I'm so sorry. It might be in the pyramid if I don't remember. Yeah. Hey, no mocking my shorthand. That was good shorthand. DDBAS2. Stack of packages. Yeah. Yeah, y'all put in the hashtag. Let me look real quick. Oh. Hot dang. Top of the pyramid, homie. Top of the pyramid. Let me see. Let's do this. There we go. It was at the top of the pyramid, Bryant. So I'll open it right now. I'll open it right now while people put in those hashtags. Put in the hashtag 6 books being giving away, sealed trading cards, some bonus trading cards, stickers. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't done that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that join button, become a channel member. Remember, if you are a Legion channel member, not the supporter tier, but if you're a Legion channel member, you get free shipping worldwide on the Tuesday giveaway. Otherwise, it's just in the US free shipping because international shipping adds up fast. Legion loot giveaway, exclusive invites to streams. All right. I see these are flipped 2 different ways. I'm going to try to flip that down. Flip that down. All right. They're all face down. Let's see what Bryant sent in here. I only know a couple of people that had that version. It's in between the gas mask version and the one you should. Yeah, the Wesley Dodds gas mask. All right, let's see. So Bryant sent Turok number 1. I needed one of these. If anybody runs across these, pick them up, send them my way. I'm always running low on those. Let's see what else we got. Kong Skull, Return to Skull Island. I pulled this series. That's the Inyuk Lee A cover for that. Return to Skull Island. And then we got Turok number 1. There we go. Now we're talking. Needed one of those. And then we got Dune. Nice. House Atreides. I actually collect all the Dune comics. That's one that I don't talk about on here much and all that. But I get them in the collected version. And then with House Carino, the most recent one, I got in floppies. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I get and read that doesn't make it to the stream stuff. But that's awesome. That's good stuff right there. That's issue number 1 of House Atreides. But it's pretty cool. That goes into like the backstory dynamics of the house and everything, and how they really get positioned before getting sent to Arrakis and everything, and the ties between the great houses and stuff. What was it? Josh Brolin's character. He's kind of younger in this. Him and Paul's dad, and their dynamic. But good stuff right there. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mark's Net channel, Buried in Comics, a channel dedicated to only opening packages 2+ years old. Yeah. Yo, I pride myself. I've got one that's postmarked from January of 2021. January 2021. So that's 5 years. Well, there you go. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate it, man. Let's go, Son of Stone. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a new tour out series. All right. That lines up good. We're getting ready to do this giveaway. I hope everybody is entered. Again, it's free shipping worldwide if you're a channel member in the Legion tier. And if you're international and you win, you can't just go join the Legion tier and then all of a sudden you get free shipping for the month. No, you got to already have been a member before the giveaway. And if you got to be a subscriber or a member supporter to even be eligible to win, you got to at least be a subscriber. But otherwise, it's free shipping in the United States. Just open it, yeah. But otherwise, you got to be in the United States, get free shipping. If you're outside of the United States, I'll give you like a $10 shipping credit, and it's up to you if you want to pay the difference. Or you can just prize tag somebody in the chat. Are you guys ready? Are y'all ready? Let's go. Yeah, Torque's a good name. It's a good name. This week's winner is Las Cruces. Heck yeah, dude. Awesome sauce. I appreciate you, my dude. Las Cruces is a massive supporter. A1 from day one. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. But yeah, congrats to Las Cruces. Coming your way, my dude. And get that out this week. Mike, dude, I missed the pass off with Pops from last week. So, Mike, your package is still right here, but that'll be going out this week as well. But I'll get that boxed up and headed out, that along with Mike's. Just do me a favor, Las Cruces, just DM me your address so it kicks it up to the top of my messages where I can find it easy. And I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Make sure y'all check out my video from yesterday. And it's a Power Ranger video. I'm excited to report that I made a Power Ranger video. Dude, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is what started this YouTube channel. Literally what started it was the Boom Studios Mighty Morphin Power Ranger stuff that they were doing. And that's kind of what like led me into people on YouTube to talking about comics, is kind of wanting to talk about that more. My first couple of videos were on opening Power Ranger stuff. Me discovering John Jang's art was thanks to Power Ranger stuff. Me discovering Big Time Collectibles and getting to know the owner, Nelson, at Big Time Collectibles was because of a Power Ranger book. So much of this channel was started on because of Power Rangers. That was the shared fandom with me and Burt Family 54 Comics, who was like my YouTube inspiration, who encouraged me to make a video and get started in doing YouTube stuff. The first friend that I found on YouTube, the first community that I found on social media with comics was through Burke, and all because of our shared love of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. One of my best buds that I met in a Power Ranger group chat who lives in Belgium. I've known and talked to him for years. He's the one who got me this custom screen ready helmet. At this point in time, he's actually traveled to America and he slept on my furniture here, and showed him around the States and hung out. It's crazy how much this fandom we can make real friends from it and real experiences on. And from that, I've met like all the other homies like Sector and Lynx and Nick and everybody else. And now we're setting up doing the Comics Curing Cancer thing every year to help the American Cancer Society, all because this kid loved Power Rangers and came on YouTube and met this guy right here. It all stems from Power Rangers. And now this week I put out a video talking about how we are right back to where we started, excited for a brand new Power Rangers #1 from Boom Studios. And I think it'll be a little bit different. Even if you're not a Power Rangers kid, like, us 80 babies, we grew up with these Power Rangers stuff. But even if you're not a Power Rangers kid, I think this new series coming out with the angle that they're taking it might just be a really fun sci-fi action book you could be into. Because when it comes down to it, Power Rangers is just freaking Godzilla. You have the G-Force fighting the kaiju. Especially if you're reading the new Kaisei era Godzilla stuff where they're affected by the Godzilla energy and people have mutate abilities. It's kind of like that in a sense. If you like the Radiant Black Power Ranger knockoff that guy does, why not just tap the vein, get the real thing? You know what I mean? But it's a really cool angle they're taking with Power Rangers. They're not kids. They're grown up and they're called back into action kind of thing. You know, some of them are diplomats, some of them are teachers, some of them are this or that, and they're called back into action. So the Rangers have kind of grown up with the fan base now. So I think it's going to be a great angle. Be sure to check it out. If you like the classic Power Rangers, you should watch the show Armosaurs on Disney Plus. It's armored dinosaurs. It's all the nostalgia Power Rangers. My kids watch it. They've seen plenty of episodes. Yeah. Crucius won it. Yeah. The Boom Studio series started off good, but then fell off the rails as it kept going. I would disagree with that. I think it was strong all the way through. I think the Shattered Grid was amazing. Beyond the Grid was my favorite story arc. It was absolutely incredible. The Eltarian War was amazing. The way that it ended with like the kind of like the zombie thing was a little far, was a little much. But overall, man, it was strong all the way through. Any run that goes that long is gone. At that point, you'll have highs and lows. But I think that even Boom's lowest lows were still quality good books. All of Go-Go was good. It was good. Family First hit film prediction 2026. Let's see what you got. Moana, Toy Story, Super Mario Galaxy, Minions, Mandalorian, Grogu. That's a solid list. That Moana trailer, man, it gave me mixed emotions. Moana is my favorite little Disney animated movie in recent years. I'm excited for it. The Rock looks weird. It takes some getting used to, but yeah. I got the Foil Godzilla Infinity Roar with Silver Surfer. That was a cool cover. That was a really cool cover. Yeah, check out Go-Go. Yeah, Go-Go was tough. Brought us the Ranger, Slayer, Gravedigger, all kinds of cool stuff in there. They nicknamed me G-Shock back in the day because I jumped on the trampoline and kids would get shell-shocked. That's hilarious. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be cool. I'm definitely going to be talking about it here on the channel with Steve. I'm not seen it yet. Might have to go look at it up. All right. But yeah, that's going to be it. I got stuff to do. Get ready for the kids, get home from school and all that good stuff. Hope everybody has a good day. And until next time, as always, we are Legion.
You are who you choose to be.
Superman.